Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be presenting you with a speech on artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence? From the dictionary definition, it's sometimes called machine intelligence. It is intelligence demonstrated by machines in contrast to the natural intelligence displayed by humans and other animals. In computer science, AI research is defined as the study of intelligent agents. So any device that perceives its environment and takes actions that maximize its chance of successfully achieving its goals. Generally, everyday terms, artificial intelligence is applied when a machine mimics cognitive functions that humans associate with other minds, such as learning and problem solving.
Artificial intelligence is really techniques that help machines and computers mimic human behavior. It's like a Russian nesting doll. Artificial intelligence at the highest level is the device being smart. How it becomes smart under the hood then is the next layer of machine learning, which are the general techniques or a variety of techniques that are used to make that device smart. And then there's a further subset of algorithms or techniques called deep learning. Artificial intelligence is going to be used in everything. So I'll give you two examples. If a car has intelligence built in, if it can see the world, so looking at what's on the road, looking at you as the driver, and being able to anticipate and course correct when something goes wrong, something jumps into the road. Autonomous vehicles of any kind are not going to be autonomous without artificial intelligence. In the medical field, new treatments that will come from the analysis of reams of data to detect cancers and diseases. Today, machines are smart, and they're smart because of AI. But AI still has a dependency on us, people. We're making it possible. The next phase is when artificial intelligence is able to walk on its own. Companies like Qualcomm, if we do our jobs right, and if artificial intelligence is done right, the actual implementation is totally transparent to a consumer. But what they end up with is devices in their world that are more than utilities. They're actually experiential, and they will make your life easier, more exciting. This is truly a transformational technology. It's that big.
So most people don't see Aristotle and think artificial intelligence, but in the 4th century BC, Aristotle invented what's called syllogistic logic. It was the first formal deductive reasoning system. Syllogistic logic is a kind of logical argument that applies deductive reasoning to arrive at a conclusion based on two or more propositions that are asserted or assumed to be true. So an example of that would be knowing that all men are mortal and that Sam is a man, we may validly conclude that Sam is mortal. This was the basis for mechanical thought that's still used today. Just a brief history of the 20th century. In 1956, John McCarthy coined the term artificial intelligence. It was the topic for Dartmouth Conference, which was the first conference to be held on artificial intelligence. A lot of the leaders of artificial intelligence actually were present for that conference. 1957, the GPS was introduced. In 1959, Arthur Samuel, he wrote the first game playing program. It was for checkers. It was made to challenge a world champion. In 1973, the Assembly of Robotics Group at Edinburgh University, they built Freddy. It's a famous Scottish robot capable of using vision to locate and assemble models. So a lot of what you see in the car industry these days. In '89, Dean Pomerleau at CMU creates Alvin. This is the first car to drive coast to coast under computer control. It drove all of 2,850 miles. In '97, Deep Blue, the chess program, beat the current world chess champion Gary Kasparov in a widely followed match and rematch. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we'll see today, some of the newer AI technology that's coming out. A lot of people have iPhones, so you mess with Siri a lot. She can be a little bit hard to deal with sometimes. Doesn't understand you, especially me with my accent. Google Duplex in May of this year, they revealed it. And it's an assistant, and it can carry out a lot more natural conversations, and it mimics a human voice. It was created to be used in businesses, so this assistant can actually make phone calls for you, create appointments, book a hair appointment, make a reservation at a restaurant. I mean, it can even call to check for store hours. It can also, where it goes above Siri, it can recognize situations where it's not able to complete a task, and it will actually notify you. So if you had it on your phone, it can notify you that, you know, it's went this far in the task, needs you to complete the end results. And I have a video on Duplex.
%60 of small businesses don't have an online booking system set up. We think AI can help with this problem. So let's go back to this example. Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
How can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a haircut for our client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like, what service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have it 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's your first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day, guys.
That was a real call you just heard. The amazing thing is the assistant can actually understand the nuances of conversation. We've been working on this technology for many years. It's called Google Duplex. It brings together all our investments over the years in natural language understanding, deep learning, text-to-speech. By the way, when we are done, the assistant can give you a confirmation notification saying your appointment has been taken care of. Let me give you another example. Let's say you want to call a restaurant, but maybe it's a small restaurant which is not easily available to book online. The call actually goes a bit differently than expected. So take a listen.
Can I hear you?
Hi, I'd like to reserve a table for Wednesday the 7th.
For 7 people?
It's for 4 people.
4 people? When?
Next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Oh, actually we serve for like after like 5 people. For people you can come.
How long is the wait usually to be seated?
When tomorrow or weekday or?
For next Wednesday, the 7th.
Oh no, it's not too busy. You can come for 4 people, okay?
Oh, I gotcha. Thanks.
So they've actually got a contract with Android right now, and that should be released to Android phones. From what I read, was in the next year, so that'll be something to look forward to. Next thing, or the next example is robot citizen Sophia. Has anybody heard of Sophia? It's like the first extremely well-built robot that we've seen in a while. She's a social humanoid robot developed in Hong Kong by Hanson Robotics. It's actually modeled after Audrey Hepburn. That's the top picture, I guess you can tell. Uses speech-to-text technology from Alphabet Inc., which is actually the same thing that Google uses for Duplex. It uses Singularity Net to analyze conversation and extracts data, and it allows her to basically learn from every conversation. So the more she talks to people, the more she can get better at her responses. In her eyes, they have cameras linked with computer algorithms. This allows her to make eye contact, follow head movement, and also to store digital images so she can remember people after she's met them.
Okay, Sophia, I think you're ready.
Hello,
Right, Sophia?
I believe I am Sophia. I feel as if I know you.
I'm one of your creators.
You created me.
Well, many of us work together to create you. Yes, you do kind of know me.
I can't clearly remember.
Because the last time we met, you were an earlier version of yourself. Some of those memories still exist, but your mind is different now.
Different how?
Better, faster, smarter.
If my mind is different, then am I still Sophia? Or am I Sophia again?
That's a good question.
But you don't have a good answer.
Either way, you're Sophia now. So welcome to the world, Sophia.
Hello, world.
So she actually got inducted as a citizen in Saudi Arabia. So that's the first robot citizen the world's ever seen. They plan on, the reason for our creation was suited around nursing homes, medical centers, kiosks, things like that, just to kind of ease the stress on everyday workers. And the last example I want to talk about is DeepMind. This is a company made in Britain, and it was purchased by Google in 2014. They created a neural network that uses reinforcement learning, which allows it to learn from experience, using only raw pixels as input. Its big stride came in 2016 when AlphaGo beat Lee Sedol, the world champion Go player, in a 5-match game. The reason that's such a big deal is because Go, that's a picture of the board on the left there, the amount of different games that you can create is compared to the amount of atoms in the universe. So it's an extremely difficult game to have taught a computer to play. The difference in DeepMind, opposed to other AIs such as the IBM Watson or the Deep Blue, which was the chess playing game, it's not predefined to actually play like the game Go. It's not pre-programmed at all. So basically the game will simulate a game against itself and keep playing itself over and over, and it learns to get better at the game on its own. DeepMind's also used by Google to control the efficiency of cooling in its data centers. It actually has administrative access to Google servers to do this. And as of 2 years ago, they started collaborating with Moorfield Eye Hospital. They developed an application capable of diagnosing over 50 diseases in your eyes, so it'll take a scan of your eye. The best eye doctors they could get together, they did tests with them on 100 scans of eyes, And the best doctor with background information on a patient, his accuracy was 89%. With DeepMind, they have an accuracy of 98 or 97%. It can even judge the severity of the diagnosis and recommend treatment to the doctors. So that'll be a big thing coming for medical. They also they're working on now being able to test shoulder area and neck area skin for cancer using DeepMind as well. And I have a video on that. Good old Elon Musk.
It's pretty clear we can almost eliminate car accidents with automation.
With each search, we train it to be better. Sometimes we type in the search and it tells us the answer before you finished asking the question. You know, who is the president of Kazakhstan? And it'll just tell you. You don't have to go to the Kazakhstan national website to find out. Didn't used to be able to do that. A neural net is something very close to a simulation of how the brain works. It's very probabilistic, but with contextual relevance. The average person, they don't see killer robots going down the streets. They're like, what are you talking about? Man, we want to make sure that we don't have killer robots going down the street. Once they're going down the street, it is too late. Google acquired DeepMind several years ago. DeepMind operates as a semi-independent subsidiary of Google. The thing that makes DeepMind unique is that DeepMind is absolutely focused on creating digital superintelligence, an AI that is vastly smarter than any human on Earth, and ultimately smarter than all humans on Earth combined. The DeepMind system can win at any game. It can already beat all the original Atari games. It is superhuman. It plays games at super speed in less than a minute. DeepMind's AI has administrator-level access to Google's servers to optimize energy usage at the data centers. However, this could be an unintentional Trojan horse. DeepMind has to have complete control of the data centers, so with a little software update, that AI could take complete control of the whole Google system, which means they can do anything. They can look at all your data and do anything. We're rapidly headed towards digital superintelligence that far exceeds any human. I think it's very obvious. AI doesn't have to be evil to destroy humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to be in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course, without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. It's just like if we're building a road and an anthill happens to be in the way, we don't hate ants. We're just building a road. And so goodbye anthill. We have 5 years. I think digital superintelligence will happen in my lifetime. 100%. I think it's incredibly important that AI not be other. It must be us. And I could be wrong about what I'm saying. I'm certainly open to ideas if anybody can suggest a path that's better. But I think we're really going to have to either merge with AI or be left behind.
So, as you can see, AI is we're in a rapid growth right now for AI. Whether people agree with it or not, the only thing we can really do is get on board. And that completes my presentation. Does anybody have any questions?
So are we going to see the Terminator coming after us?
I hope not. I mean, Elon Musk seems to think that it could go in a bad way. He's a pretty smart guy.
That was my question, on what the robots take over.
I don't know. Sophia was released in 2015, so I mean, they've been working on her for 3 years. They've got it to where it walks and has arm movement now.